Hi everyone, and welcome to another Gaffer and Gear. A lot of you have asked me to do an episode on Manfrotto and Avenger light stands because apparently they're not that readily available in other countries. So a lot of you want to know about them. So I did an episode and the episode ran for about 50 minutes. So I thought that's a little bit too long, so I've decided to break it up. So this episode is on wind-up stands. So I've got two different types of their wind-up stands. So we're going to go through the pros and cons of their wind-up stands and also cover some aspects of safety operation because I've seen a lot of young operators get injured using these stands incorrectly. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, so we'll start off with the biggest stand that I own, and that is one of these. This is a super wind-up stand. So these sell for about $1,400 US, which is somewhere around the 2,300 to 2,500 Australian dollar mark. Now this thing is rated for an 80 kilogram payload, and I believe that's at full extension. So it can take a heck of a lot of weight. That's about 176 pounds. The reason it can take the weight is it has this massive base. So this massive base is a blessing and a curse. So this light stand I keep in the workshop. I only take it out on jobs when I know I need it. So if I'm doing a job where I've got a long menace arm, I'll bring this out. And the other time I'll use it is if I'm outdoors and I know we've got bad weather. This thing can have a 4K on it, take the barn doors off it. This could have a 4K on it, gale force winds, it does not budge. It is absolutely rock solid. So yeah, fantastic in that regard, but in terms of day-to-day usage, like if you're using an M18 or an M40, the base is a problem. You can't get it next to the side of a small building. You can't, you put it in someone's backyard, you take out half their flower beds. So it is a bit of a problem in that regard. All right, let's go over some of the safety features that are in this light stand. And the first is a double cog braking system. So when I wind it up, you can hear this brake system engaging. Now, if I want to wind it down, I can't. Okay, so you've got a cog locking system, and that's stopping this wheel from going down. Now, if I want to disengage this locking system, I have to press not one, but two buttons simultaneously. So I've got to squeeze them both at the same time. But they won't disengage under load. In order to get them to disengage, I have to have my hand on the handle and take the weight off the locking system. Then I can wind it backwards. All right, so the next safety feature with this is if you've got a payload of 50 kilograms or less. So the reason I'm using shop bags is my biggest lights are only 25 kilograms. So this is 50 kilograms, and to give you some idea of how much 50 kilograms is, a M90 is 40 kilograms. Now I'm going to wind this up with this hand so I'm far enough away that if the shop bags fall off, they're not going to hit me. Okay, so I've got the columns unlocked. I'm going to unlock the brake system here. Watch the handle. So everything's unlocked. Okay, now the handle won't free spin down. Let's give it some encouragement. Okay, so if you've got 50 kilograms or less weight on this stand, it won't telescope out under the weight. Now it's pretty obvious, but I did forget to mention it. It does have solid lock-offs on the columns. Now the next thing that's really cool with this unit is the adjustable leg. It's got a safety system on it as well. If I want to adjust the lazy leg, I have to press this button in with my finger and that button in with my thumb simultaneously. All right, so check this out. Okay, so press the button down, press the other button in, find my level and release. Now here's what's super cool with this. Let's say I've done my adjustment and I step back and I look at it and the light's at full extension and I think, it's a bit on the piss. I need to adjust it a little bit. Well, it's got a shimmy adjustment. Okay, left to adjust down, right to adjust up. So that's called a micro adjuster. How cool is that? So I think the best way to show the pros and cons of this is to set it up with a real payload. Okay, so look, let's get it leveled out first. Okay, so I'm just using the side of my house to gauge level. Okay, so really easy to adjust. Now, if you do buy one of these, one thing I would strongly suggest is get out a little angle grinder and round off the edges on the struts here, because when you slide your shop bags in, it will cut your shop bags up. Okay, so that's what I found when I got mine. A couple of weeks later, my shot bags were all getting cut up. Now, the struts are really, really low to the ground, so that's fantastic in terms of getting a low center of gravity. But where it is a pain is if you're out in the wilderness and you're setting up somewhere that's got rocks. So let's pretend this shot bag's a rock. Well, there's your first problem. You know, you're going to need a serious nest of apple boxes if you're going to use this out in the wild. So it really is, to some degree, it really is an urban environment stand. Okay, so we've got that leveled out. Let's put a payload on it. Okay, so this is a 4K. All right, let's see how easy she goes up. I'll put it to full extension so you can see how stable she is. Now, it doesn't go a long way up. It only goes 366 centimeters, so that's about 12 foot. Okay, so I'm getting close to the top. I've just hit the top. Okay, so one bit of advice with all wind-up stands is do not take your hand off the handle until you've done the lock off on the column, okay? Because that is the brake that stops this from coming down. Okay, so I've got this lock off done up. I've got another lock off up there that I want to get to, and that's what the step's for. So just one thing to be cautious of is the handle and the steps tend to be on the same side. That's so when you pack it up, everything that sticks out is on the same side. So it packs up easier. But the thing to watch is if you climb up the step this way, on the same side as your handle, just be careful on your way back down because you might have a handle sticking out between your legs. Okay, so what I've learned from experience is I just come up the other side. I just put my foot around there and hug up this side. Now don't lean back on your stand when you climb up it, get close to the column. Okay, and there you go. Now whenever I do my lock-offs up or I undo my lock-offs, I make sure my head is below this point. Okay, always below the lock-off point. I did have a stand a long time ago where a couple of people that didn't know what they were doing, two people at once tried to force the handle down, tried to crank it down on another stand that didn't have this brake system. And the reason they couldn't get it down is they didn't realize they had the columns locked, but they managed to lower the inside. So they managed to lower the mechanism or break the mechanism somehow. And when I undid the lock off, the light came crashing down on the first column. And I was very lucky that my head was below the lock off point. So the light only came down to that column point. Otherwise I would have been in a world of trouble. All right, so let's take her down. So undo the top lock off, keep my head below it in case it telescopes down. Okay, put your hand on the handle, undo the other lock off. All right, now I've got the lock off released and I can lower it. Now just to show you here, the safety system on it, it's unlocked and it's not telescoping. Okay, let's go down. It does take a bit to wind down because of all the safety systems. Now, one of the big drawbacks for this is you can get wheels for it, but you can't get pneumatics. You can only get solid wheels. So not that great in the outdoor environment, but okay in studio. Now, I almost forgot to show you it packed down. So it does weigh 32.5 kilograms, which is why it has earned the nickname Mother by my best boys, but it's not too bad to carry. All right, so let's have a look at the next biggest stands I've got of theirs. These are their wind-ups. So these sell for about 1,600 Australian dollars. So I was quite surprised when I looked up that price because I paid about $800 for mine back in the day. That's about, I suppose, 1,000 US dollars. So let's have a quick look over it. All right, so I've got 4 of these and they're a very good stainless steel construction. I don't think I've got a speck of rust on any of them. Look, it's your basic clutch locks, your standard sort of wind up and wind down cable driven mechanism. You've got a baby pin at the top here, so I'll just get that sideways so you can see. And I've got to say the baby pin, I don't think I've ever used it. But a lot of guys, if they do put something on that takes a baby pin, they actually put an adapter in or a butt plug in because this is quite small, so it doesn't work for every light, but you know, it's there. It's more decorative than anything else, I've got to say, but it's there. You've got an adjustable leg. Now, there's nothing fancy about the leg. It's just basically, I'll go the other way so you can see it. So it's just a simple locking mechanism. Okay, so one pole inside the other, and there's no safety on it, so if you undo it, it is going to collapse on you. So there's no two safety releases like on the previous one. Yeah, it does its task. Now the stand's rated at 30 kilograms only, so it's okay for, say, up to an M40. I wouldn't put anything bigger than that on it. I know people that do. I know people that put M90s on these, but I think you're taking a bit of a chance, especially when you're high up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing to watch for young players is the locking mechanism. So the only thing that holds this up when you've got it to full extension are these two locks. Okay, so if you put some weight on it, okay, and take it up. So I've seen this happen a few times. Wind-up stands do have a bit of tension in them, so if you do let go of the handle accidentally, they should stay momentarily if they're geared okay. But I've seen a few young guys, they wind it up and then they go off and do the next task. All you need is a sparrow or something to land on top of the light or something to bump the handle. And unlike the previous stand that has that braking system, this thing just gains speed. So, and the next mistake I see people do if that happens is they try to stop it. So I've grabbed a few people, pulled them away from the stand, because you'll break your wrist trying to stop that. Just let the light come down. Now, apart from getting injured by a spinning handle here, you've also got a light that's coming down at high speed. And if you're taller than the light stand, you could get a serious neck injury. It is not worth trying to save the light. It is easier for me to fix a broken light than it is to fix a human. So if it all turns bad, you just step back and out of the way. Now, the safest thing you can do, here's the safest thing you can do with these stands, is when you wind it up, you do not let go of this handle. Never let go of the handle until you have the column locked. Once the column is locked, then you can let go of that handle. So you've got to have a little bit of wits about you. You've got to be aware that there's nothing to stop this coming down apart from these brakes. So, when you do lower it, if you do lower it down, make sure when you undo the second brake that you've got your hand on the handle. Okay, you're ready to take the load. Okay, one advantage it does have, it is easier to lower than the other stand. The other stand, you've got to really work it to get it down because of all the safety systems. Now, pretty much like every other wind-up stand, it has a little step here. So if God made you short but handsome and you can't get to the lock-off, you can use that step to get up to the lock-off, no problem. But you really want to hug the stand. Okay, you want to get close into it because it's got a very narrow base. Now, the narrow base comes in really handy. Like I say, I've got 4 of these stands. The narrow base comes in handy. I can get it down the side of a house. I can use it in someone's garden, no problem at all. But if you go up this step and you lean back, you can take you can take the other leg off the ground. So you've got to have your wits about you when you're using it. It's not as safe as the other stand. Now, I almost forgot to mention, but one point of difference I've seen between these and other stands is there's no movement in the legs. So I can't get these legs to shimmy from side to side, whereas some other brands, there's quite a bit of play in the legs. And when you wind up the mechanism, you can actually feel the stand moving and rocking and the lights going like this up the stand. That doesn't happen on these, it's rock solid. All right, so let's put a payload on it and show you how it operates. Okay, so that's all the way up. Now, before I take my hand off the handle, I make sure I lock the column here, okay? Otherwise it could come crashing down. Now, I want to do up the second lock off as well. So I make sure I hug into the stand and go up, make sure I'm orientated correctly with the light, and then lock it. Because if you don't lock it up here, there is a little bit of play in the column. Okay, and that's pretty much at full extension. We'll take a little bit before it stops rocking. So you see it's not as solid as the other stand. Okay, now to get it down, to bring it down, I make sure I'm definitely locked here. Okay, because if I go up and undo that one, the whole lot can come crashing down if this isn't locked. So I make sure I'm locked here. Okay, hug in close to the stand, come up. I keep my head below this lock off when I undo this one, okay? Okay, so I make sure my head's below, unlock that. Come down the stand, kiss close to the stand, make sure I don't lean out. Put my hand on the handle before I undo this lock off. Okay, now I make sure I'm not standing under the light. Okay, undo the lock off. Now all the weight is on my hand here. Okay, so when I'm winding down, you don't do this, you don't stand here. Okay, if anything breaks in the mechanism, which is unlikely, you're going to get a light on your head. So you stand out from it. So remember, there's no brake systems in this.